Boy Corey here, aka Crasher, back with a new video, and ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, I want to present you all with a type of video I haven't yet done on the channel, and that is a review for Pokémon Journeys Episode 53, Getting a Legend? Search for Suicune, the Guardian Deity of Water. The purpose of this video is to give you all something to make up for the technical difficulties that plagued our last live stream, as well as give you all a proper review for the episode and give my opinions on. With that being said, let's get started. To open up the episode, we see storms taking place that ravage the area, and because of these storms, the natural water sources were very dirty. That was until Suicune appeared to purify the water and save the Pokemon that relied on the water source. There were then reports of Suicune sightings, and Cerise tasked Ash and Goh to investigate Suicune and why it chose to stay at a lake. Ash and Goh then set out to Johto. During their search, Ash and Goh came across a bad stench, and it emanated from the lake that was filled with trash and overall looked polluted. Turns out the reason for this was because of a gang of Pokémon Hunters that were purposely polluting the lake with their poison-type Pokémon. Ash and Goh were about to mix it up with these goons, and then Suicune appeared, and it looked angry, and gee, I wonder why. Suicune was angry, and it purified the lake while wrecking the equipment of the Hunters. Turns out, Suicune was in for a world of trouble as it then got barraged with sludge bomb attacks, and it was being restrained. Seeing how tough these gangsters were, Goh made the choice to capture Suicune in a Pokeball to rescue it from further harm. Ash knew what needed to be done and would hold off the Hunters while Goh made his escape. While Goh was escaping, Suicune popped out of its ball and was still suffering the effects of the poison attacks and ran into a hole within a tree. Goh saw that there were other smaller Pokemon trying to protect Suicune from further harm and knew what Suicune meant to them. Seeing this, Goh took the extra step to bring out his Alolan Executor and his Raichu to assist in looking after Suicune. After a bit, Goh returned with loads of Pecha Berries and other healing berries to help restore Suicune's strength. Suicune also had an injury on its leg that Goh managed to bandage up, and things seemed to be looking up for Goh and company. Things wouldn't remain this way, however, as the Hunters were able to find out where Goh and Suicune was. Goh knew what had to be done and fought the Hunters with his Cinderace and his newly caught Drowzee. This part was a nod to Yucine, as he also had a Drowzee and a love for Suicune, so this episode gets points for that nice little Easter egg there. Drowzee did some work, as psychic moves are super effective versus poison-type Pokemon. That wouldn't last long, however, as the boss of the gang had a Houndoom and wrecked Drowzee with a Crunch. This also led to Suicune being captured in a net, and the Hunters were very rough with it. But then, Ash came to the rescue, and Pikachu as well as Lucario helped even out the odds. These Hunters were strong. They managed to poison Goh's Cinderace, but despite that, Goh and Cinderace's determination burned hotter than a fire type. Suicune saw the lengths Goh would go to in order to rescue Suicune, and that's when Suicune broke out of its net and just started whooping ass left and right. Hydro Pumps and an Ice Beam stopped the Hunters' Pokemon cold in their tracks, and just as the Hunters were about to make their escape, nope, Suicune wasn't done with them. They were frozen with an Ice Beam and were taken away by police. Thank God. We then get to a pivotal scene where Goh wants to release Suicune, as he feels Suicune has a greater purpose to serve in its journey. The choice was up to Suicune. What was it going to do? Well, in a complete turn of events, and something that shocked many fans and made me lose my shit despite the stream not picking it up, thanks a lot OBS, Suicune chose Goh. Goh now has a fucking legendary Pokemon. We get an ending scene at the Cerise Park where everyone is amazed. Cerise, the lab assistants, and all of the Pokemon were in awe of Suicune. The episode ends off with a scene of Suicune running across the screen while showing silhouettes of other legendary Pokemon. Now, as for my opinions on this episode, I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10. This is a huge step in Goh's character development, as not only did he form a bond with Suicune and really stepped up to earn Suicune's respect, but Suicune chose to stay with Goh. The part that I dock points on, however, actually goes back to the preview of this episode. They straight up spoiled a huge part of this episode. What were they thinking? It would have been one thing if there was perhaps an ulterior motive for the episode, such as if Goh and Suicune really did part ways, but that didn't happen. Goh caught Suicune and kept it. This wouldn't have been an issue if the preview didn't spoil it. It would have been a huge surprise for everyone, but as it turns out, the huge surprise was already spoiled in the preview. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode review. What did you guys think of this episode? Please let me know in the comments down below. I know that there are quite the amount of fans that are upset with Goh catching Suicune, and I can understand both sides of the spectrum here. But let's just keep it respectful, okay? There's no need to be toxic, there's no need to be overly hateful or overly defensive. Let's all enjoy a good conversation about this, whether we agree or disagree on some points, because that's what the community should be doing. You know what I'm saying? Let's spread some positive vibes regardless of whether you agree or disagree with one another. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day or night depending on your time zone, and as always, ya boy, we'll see you guys in the next one.